Hi everyone, Connor here. Welcome to Panama. It's very humid and pretty wet. I'm standing out here under a tree trying to stay dry and trying to keep the camera dry. But I wanted to talk to you about the Groundbreaker event we're having here today. It's been really good. Mainly the composition has been students, which is great. It's really good to see a young audience coming to these Oracle events. And I was giving a talk on SQL, how to get the best out of the SQL engine to a whole bunch of students. Interesting, the lecturer was talking to me after the event and he said he cut his teeth on COBOL and CICS, or KICS as we used to call it when I was working. And it's funny, I was the same. I was a COBOL programmer at the start. But anyway, one of the interesting questions that came up from one of the students at the end of the section on SQL that I was talking about was, he said it's all well and good to have technical expertise, but what about that first interview? What about when you're heading out for a job, and how do you impress the interviewers for that first job? Obviously you can't give them a strong, healthy background in terms of here's all my job experience, here's all my list of achievements working with other companies. If you're just out of college or just out of university, you don't have that on your resume. You don't have that wealth of experience. So what's going to differentiate you from other people, other students who have just graduated? And I thought that was actually a really good question. And so this is the advice I gave him, and hopefully for anyone that's watching this, it resonates and you find it useful as well. Obviously, a whole bunch of students will have a similar level of expertise, probably similar grades, similar list of techniques and skills they have at their disposal. So in terms of differentiating yourself, one of the things I would suggest is get yourself what I call an online presence. Now that doesn't mean you have to have, a YouTube channel like myself and a blog and 12 other social media things and a huge list of content, but even just having something, maybe your first just few blog posts, even following a few people on Twitter so you're up to date with kind of technologies that's going on in the industry. That kind of stuff can really help you for showing a potential employer that you're not just about studying at college. You actually have an invested interest and are passionate about the technology that you're applying for. Now you might be thinking, well, I don't have the skills or the knowledge yet to go write 25 blog posts and the like. And that might be true, but one of the things you can do is, rather than just playing with source code at home, put that source code out on, say, GitHub. That way you're starting to learn the skills of how to use Git and how to use a public repository, but also you then got something to show a potential employer that, yes, this is some of the code I've written, this is the kind of stuff I write, and it just shows that you have a knowledge of the Git ecosystem. That is a skill in itself. Also, once you're familiar with using Git and GitHub, what you can start doing is being a participant in some of the established repositories. Now, I'm not saying that you have to jump out and become one of the authors of Python or one of the contributors to the source code of Node or things like that. But one of the things that might be able to do is just get in the habit of reading some of the source code from these big open source community projects. That gets you up to speed with some of those skill sets as well, but also you might actually be able to make some contributions. They're always looking for people to do code documentation or even just provide input in terms of how to improve the documentation of the code base. Simple things like that actually get you a bit more of an online presence, a bit more of an online profile, and these are the kind of things that you can show a potential employer. Yes, it's true that you don't have a huge, giant wealth of work experience that you can put on your resume if you've just graduated from college. That doesn't mean you can't begin the important steps toward being a contributor to the IT community. That helps you as a resource and also helps employers pick you above others. Okay, it's starting to rain a bit harder. I think it's time to go inside and keep dry and keep the camera dry. Our next stop on the tour is Costa Rica and then on to Mexico from there. Hopefully if you're in one of those cities, please drop by and say hello. We'll be talking about Oracle Tech, talking about the autonomous cloud as well. We've got some great workshops going on. But please stop by, say hello, talk some tech, and anything we can do to help further your career and make you successful with Oracle, just let us know. We'll do our best to help. Bye for now.